Right. Hello, everybody. I'm releasing a video today that's really important about if you were ever ghosted or in a situationship or relationship with an avoidant person, or some people are in marriage relationships with people who are avoidant, and you keep going in this same cycle over and over again where it looks like they want to get close and then they run away or they ghost you or they pull back. And I am a psychologist in my day job. I've been doing this for over 20 years. But I also meditate, and I was meditating and I got this insight where it was like, look, if they don't choose to do the inner work, and us too, if you're more anxious or not as secure, if we don't do the inner work, then what happens is we think we've forgiven our parents for neglecting us. There's a lot of childhood neglect and abuse sometimes with an avoidant. And so if their parents just said no to their outstretched hand when they wanted love and just knocked them aside and, or just set it aside and say, hey, you need to regulate yourself, you need to figure this out yourself, then what they do is they can justify it, doing it towards us, because they're still justifying their parents. They don't want to make their parents bad. When you're little, you don't want to make your parents the bad guys, because then you feel crushed by them. You feel like it's your own fault. You feel like, oh, I have to self-regulate. I have to do all of this on my own. All those people are needy. I always have to look like I'm not needy because I wasn't allowed to have. And so we look at them as more, we're sensitive, and they're sensitive too in some ways, but we're reaching out. We're like, how could they just walk away from this loving relationship that we think we're offering? But oftentimes they do it, and they seem so callous because they internalize their own parents. They're still justifying their parents' actions of neglecting them. And I know we can say, oh, it was bad for them to do this, or they were addicted or whatever. But as long as they don't walk through the grief of going, that's really sad that my parents did that to me, I was worth more, then they will keep justifying doing it to other people. And we will keep looking outside for someone else to be the good parent to us. Why isn't this avoidant just getting it and showing up and apologizing and giving us closure? No, you get closure. Not because we're not all interdependent. We are, and I believe that God created us. We're meant to be in a love relationship with the Creator. So we can get that from God. Ask God to help you repair that. Ask God to help you walk through the grief. Sometimes we're avoiding walking through the grief because it's going to seem painful, and we all want to avoid pain. So we keep going to the avoidant and trying to fix them and trying to please them. And you don't need to do that. You're not meant to do that. So this will stop the avoidant anxious cycle and help you understand why they seem so callous and how you can move on. All right, much love. I'll put the link down here.